Another day, another game getting microtransactions. This time it's Killing Floor 2 by Tripwire Interactive, which I may remind you is still in Steam Early Access, but in the next update we will be getting a few things, including an in-game store called the Trading Floor. And in this trading floor you can buy weapon skins and cosmetic accessories which will be dropped in-game, either standalone or in the form of crates or USB sticks, and if you get a crate or USB you can purchase a decryption key to obtain a random item. Now of course we've seen this sort of idea in play in many different games, including of course the recently controversial Payday 2. Now, it seems at least at launch, all of the content in the trading floor will be cosmetic only and not affect the gameplay in any way. And the official post reads, quote, "In the future we may be adding weapons with new gameplay for sale, but this will appear in the shared content area on the server. That means that if any player on the server has a weapon, then every player on the server will be able to use it. No one gets any advantage. Co-op game, everyone starts out equal. Our goal is for any such weapons to be side grades anyway, so they won't provide an edge over the current tier of weapon power." And it seems that the money made from these microtransactions will be split between community members that made the items and of course Tripwire themselves, which will of course be used to fund Killing Floor 2 post-release and probably make some post-release content like DLC. Now, naturally, people aren't best pleased about the addition of microtransactions, especially to a game that is still in Steam Early Access. And Tripwire have already responded, and they said, quote, "Not much time left to change anything before the update, but we are listening. And to those asking, why not get the game out of Early Access first? Well, here's your answer. Feedback leading to changes in what we're doing with this, changes to future plans. So that when the game comes out of Early Access, it is actually finished, with core systems like this ironed out and working the way people want it to." So essentially it's going to be getting the same system or a very similar system to CSGO. I have really mixed feelings on this one, guys. As I said, this game is not even out yet, and I can get that they want to make sure the game is actually ready to be released by getting feedback from fans, tweaking things before actually releasing them. That's kind of the point of Early Access, right? Okay, fine. But while this is not a full price release, you're still paying money for it. It is £19.99. But it seems that we don't quite know what they're planning to do with DLC. I have had a bit of a look and can't find any information, just a lot of speculation from fans. So let's say, for example, that they don't release any paid DLC, that they do free updates for maps and whatever. To pay for that, they have these cosmetic microtransactions. If there is no advantage to be gained in gameplay, then I don't hate that. It still kind of rubs me up the wrong way just on principle, but this is probably one of the least offensive examples. Because, well, if some dude on your server has X gun that he paid for, everyone on the server can use X gun. So there's no advantage to that guy using X gun. The main thing that gets people upset, and understandably so, is the idea of pay to win. That some guy with a big credit card or whatever can go on, buy a lot of stuff and have a direct advantage over someone who's playing for free because either they just don't want to spend money or they don't have any money to spend because they're a student or whatever. You know, that definitely rubs people up the wrong way, and as I said, understandably so. But it seems like if you're playing on the same server as someone, and obviously if you're playing in the same team or game as them, then obviously you would be. So you'd be able to use that weapon for that game. So they've definitely taken into consideration how this will affect the gameplay. Obviously, as I said, it's all cosmetic at the start, which is fine. It does add gameplay changes later, but they've kind of made a bit of a, shall we say, a interesting tweak by basically sharing that gun with people on your server for a limited basis. And hey, if you like that gun, then maybe you want to go and search for it, you know, or whatever. It's hard to know how this is going to work, because they haven't really exactly said, and because of course it's still in Early Access, they might even change how this works before it actually comes out. I can see why people are upset, especially following the whole thing that happened with Payday 2, but this is probably one of the better examples of microtransactions in a paid-for game, and it's not a full-price game, You still do pay for it, but I suppose Valve have been getting away with this in CSGO. As long as it's properly balanced and there's no pay to win, a simple pay to unlock this cool gun that's a side grade, but maybe you like its abilities or whatever, and then everyone on the server will share with you. Cool. Although, that does make me wonder, surely you and your group of friends could just like buy one weapon, like one of you will buy it and then you always play together so the rest of you don't buy it. It does seem like Killing Floor 2 will kind of have a bit of a limited base for how many people will buy based on that, but if that's a sacrifice that needs to be made so that it's still a balanced multiplayer that you can be competitive in for free, then I'd say that's more than fair. As I said though, my feelings are a bit mixed, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do let me know in the comments below. I'll see you next time.